I'm fascinated about the way Paul describes his ministry at the beginning of Romans. He says, grace was given to me to be an apostle. Interesting, in Ephesians 4 it says he ascended on high, he gave gifts and different grace gifts, some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors and teachers. So grace was given to some to be prophetic. They could speak on God's behalf with revelation. Some were evangelists, they could reap. Some were shepherds, teachers, they could serve the flock, care for them, feed them, lead them. And some were given grace to be an apostle. Paul said, God gave me grace to be an apostle. And in that context, it's interesting how he describes himself. He doesn't say, I'm a kind of over-manager of churches. He doesn't say, I kind of oversee pastors. He says, grace was given to me to bring about the obedience that's based on faith among the Gentiles. In other words, he was going out among the nations to bring about obedience to God that was based on faith. It's a fascinating summary of what he saw his apostolic ministry to be. He wants to go among the nations and lead the nations back to obedience. The Gentile nations were far from God. They were disobedient, what the Bible calls children of disobedience. But God is worthy to be obeyed. He should be obeyed. And Paul goes out among the nations to bring about obedience. But it's interesting, he says the obedience that comes from faith. That's what he wants to produce among the nations. See, obedience could be looked for sort of slavishly. You will obey. I force you to obey. Paul says, no, I want the obedience that comes from faith. What is behind that? Well, what is the human problem? Some would say the human problem is selfishness. That's the root of our problem, but I don't think that is the root of our problem. If you go back to the beginning, the root of the problem was they didn't believe God. They were willing to believe Satan when he suggested an alternative plan and suggested that God was holding out on them and they could be as gods. They didn't need God. They could come to their own conclusions. They could be masters of their own lives, come and be independent of God. Don't trust God. So that's the root of our human problem. We don't trust God. And Paul wanted to bring about that obedience that was based on faith, that we obey because we believe again. God loves faith. I believe that's why when God starts his great program of redemption, he came to Abraham and made him an amazing promise, what sounds kind of ridiculous. And you get this wonderful statement, Abraham believed God. And it's like that's the beginning of a great new day, a people who will believe God, step back into believing him and obeying him because they believed him. Abraham was put to a colossal test about that, offering up his son, but he believed God. And God loves that kind of obedience that comes out of faith. I know for myself when I was first converted and I was backslidden for quite a while and then coming out from backsliding and trying to start living the Christian life, and one realizes a sort of lifestyle that's appropriate. I used to go to outrageous parties and my friends would say, you coming with us this weekend? And I'd say, no, I don't think I'm coming. Why won't you come? No, I'm not coming. And then afterwards they'd say, hey, you should have been there. It was amazing. There was so much going on. You'd have absolutely loved it. And I'd say, tell me what happened? What happened? Why don't you come? Well, we're not allowed to come. Why don't you become a Christian? Then you won't be allowed to go. I mean, what an offer. It's like, come into this world where you're not allowed to do things. That's not what God wants. God doesn't want a church full of people who are not allowed to do the things they would like to do. He wants a church that believes him and obeys because they believe him. They believe that God's ideas for life are the best. My friends couldn't believe that. You want to live such a narrow life? But as the years slip by, I say, hey, my life's a lot better than theirs. I believed God. I actually believed God. It took me a little while. I thought at first I have to obey because that's what the church said. But gradually, through seeing the grace of God, the love of Jesus, his incredible kindness to me, his acceptance of me, his calling me a son. Yeah, I want to be a believer. I want to be an obedient believer. I trust him. And that's to play a part in every part of our lives. Do we believe God? What he said it's more blessed to give than to receive. We might say, well, actually, and I'm a Christian, but I think probably it's more blessed to receive. No, Jesus said, he that hears these sayings of mine and does them will build his house on a rock. The things Jesus said are right. They're worth trusting. And so the Christian life is one of believing him, even when it seems to be not common sense. And we grow in grace as we believe him, we trust him. God loves faith. He kind of loves faith disproportionately. He really honors faith because it's saying, you are trustworthy, Father. I really believe you. I want to live your way. And we obey because we believe. God bless you as you go through another day.